To find out how to make the basic building block of a balloon garland, clusters like these, keep watching. Hi, I'm Rachel with Bubbly Balloon Co, and this is the first video in our balloon garland basics series. This first video in the series is going to be on balloon clusters, groups of balloons that end up getting attached together to form the final balloon garland. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel to watch the rest of the series. Let's jump right in. There are so many ways to make a balloon garland, and while I'll be doing videos on several of the methods, and some are better for beginners, some are better for those who are just doing a one-time DIY, this method I think is a little bit better for people who have some experience with making balloon garlands because it can be a little bit tricky at first. I actually think this is one of the easiest methods the pros use, so I would love for you to give it a shot whether you're brand new at this or you're a seasoned balloon artist, and let me know in the comments below how this went or if you want me to give you something a little more basic for the next one. So first you're going to need an electric balloon pump and as many balloons as you're going to want to use in your garland. It can be done with a hand pump, but it takes a lot more muscle and a lot more time, so I highly recommend spending like 20 bucks or whatever it is for a basic balloon pump. There's several models that will do if you're doing it for a one-time thing, if you're going to be spending any time at all on it, because this is going to save you so much time and energy and make your life a lot easier. I'm not going to get into color theory in this video, but if you're doing a color block garland, you would only be inflating balloons of one color at a time. So I'd be doing all of these, or all of these, or all of these. The garland that I'm making is going to be a mix of different colors, so I'm just going to be kind of picking and choosing randomly to make each cluster out of as many colors as I want. And just one side note before you start, if you're wearing any bracelets, any jewelry, any rings, anything like that, definitely take them off before you start. I always swap out my wedding ring for a silicone band when I'm working with balloons because anything sharp can get a little hairy. So to start with, I'm going to take two 11-inch balloons of any different color here, and I'm going to inflate them at the same time, but to different sizes. Like that. Now to create the round bubbly shape that you see all over Instagram, what I'm going to do is press on each balloon and let out a little bit of air to change its shape and make it as round as I want it to be. Like that. And like that. Now, even though we're using the same size balloon, they're both 11 inches, you definitely want variety in how inflated they are and how big they look in the end. So I'm happy with this variety. I'm going to go ahead and tie these together by the necks. Okay, so all you do is twist them together as low as possible. All right, you want to leave as much room in the neck as possible for tying and for later on. So I just wrap those two together, twist them, okay, and then I'm just going to tie this once by taking one balloon neck, stretching it around the other, putting it through, and pulling as tight as I can. Now you do want to be careful not to rip the balloons, but you do want to pull it pretty tight, okay? Just like that. So this is called a duplet. It's two balloons. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and make another duplet. And you can go ahead and press it on the table, you can press it on your hands, on your body, whatever you like. I will warn you that when working with latex, a lot of it will come off on your clothes. You'll be covered in like white powder or colors or whatever. Just a fair warning. So wear something you don't mind getting a little dirty in. But once they're rounded out and shaped as you want, go ahead and tie them together. And again, I'm wrapping the necks, twisting them together at the base as close as possible to leave as much neck space to work with as possible. And then I'm going to go ahead and wrap one neck over the other, push it through, and tie. And there's another duplet. At this point, I've got two duplets, two sets of two balloons, and I want to twist them together to make a quad, which is a group of 4 balloons. So I'm going to take the two, I'm going to put the center of them together, and then I'm going to take a balloon from each duplet and twist them together several times until it's secure. And that's a quad. So now I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch more quads. Now I'm going to put together two quads in the same way we did with the duplets, okay? All I'm gonna do is take any two quads. I'm gonna take one balloon from each. So I'm holding this one here and this one here. And I'm going to kind of mash the quads together and then twist those two balloons several times until it's secure and they're one big cluster. And you end up with something like this. Now this can still be reshaped. You can still kind of manually move it quite a bit and get it into the position you're going to want it to later in the game when we're assembling the garland. But for now, whatever it looks like, as long as it's secure, you're going to be fine. So these large balloon clusters are going to form the bulk of the balloon garland, but I'm also going to want some smaller clusters to help taper off at the ends or kind of fill out anywhere that I want to be a little bigger, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do now is take some 5-inch balloons, and I'm probably going to mix in a couple of 11s here and there and just create some smaller clusters that are made the exact same way, just smaller in size. So for a standard like 6 to 8 foot garland, you probably only need 7 or 8 large clusters, plus any mini clusters that you're going to want to use to decorate with and expand with. One thing you always want to have to hand when building a garland are extra duplets and quads. They come in handy all the time. I can't even tell you how many times a design has been saved by having extra little minis that I can go ahead and shove in or expand out with. So I'm going to go ahead and inflate the rest of these. if you have a room full of balloon clusters like this, then you have what you need to start assembling a balloon garland, which is going to be covered in video 2 of this series, so go ahead and watch that video to find out what to do from here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.